1. You will hear a conversation between a customer and a ticketing agent about purchasing concert tickets and event details. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 7. Now listen and answer questions 1 to 7.
Hello, this is Lily. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Lily. This is James. I'm calling to inquire about concert tickets for next Saturday's event. It's happening at the Grand Arena, right?
Yes, that's correct. The concert will be held at the Grand Arena near Riverside Park. It's a popular venue, well known for its excellent acoustics and spacious seating.
Oh, I've heard good things about that place. Is it the one with the large open plaza in front?
Exactly. The plaza is where a lot of people gather before the event, especially since there are food trucks and a cafe. It's a great place to relax before heading inside.
Sounds nice. Do you know if there are any good spots to park nearby?
There's parking available at the Grand Arena itself, but it fills up quickly. However, you'll find additional parking lots about a 10-minute walk away, and there's also street parking, though that's limited. I'd recommend getting there early to find a convenient spot.
Thanks for the tip. Now, about the tickets. Could you let me know what sections are available?
Of course! We've got 3 main options for seating. There's the front section, which is the closest to the stage, priced at $120 per ticket. The midsection tickets are $80, and the back section is more affordable at $50.
The front section sounds amazing, but $120 is a bit over my budget. Are there good seats left in the midsection?
Let me check. Yes, we still have several seats available in the midsection. These seats offer a great view of the stage and are not too far from the action.
That sounds reasonable. Are there seats available closer to the center of the midsection?
We do have seats both in the center and towards the sides. However, the seats closer to the center are selling fast, but we still have a few left.
I'd prefer something near the center. How many are left in that area?
For the midsection near the center, we've got about 12 seats remaining. I'd recommend booking them soon if you're interested.
Wow, they're going quickly. I'll take 2 seats in the midsection, near the center, if possible. Can you reserve those for me?
Absolutely. I'll reserve 2 midsection seats close to the center for you. Would you like to know more about the concert details, such as the start time?
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 8 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 8 to 10.
Yes, please. What time does the concert start?
The concert starts at 7:30 p.m., but the doors open at 6 p.m. I suggest arriving no later than 6:30 to avoid any rush and to find your seats comfortably.
That makes sense. And how about parking fees? Are they included, or do we have to pay separately?
The parking fees are not included with the ticket. It's $10 for parking at the arena, and the off-site parking lots charge around $5 to $8, depending on where you park.
Good to know. Are there any other fees associated with the ticket purchase?
Yes, there's a small processing fee of $5 per ticket. Other than that, there are no additional charges unless you'd like to add ticket insurance.
What's the deal with the insurance?
For $10 per ticket, the insurance allows you to cancel or change your tickets up to 24 hours before the event for a full refund. It's a good option if your plans might change.
I don't think I'll need the insurance this time. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to attend.
No problem. So, to confirm, you're purchasing 2 tickets in the midsection near the center, priced at $80 each, plus a $5 processing fee per ticket, bringing the total to $170.
Yes, that sounds right.
Great! How would you like to pay?
I'll pay by credit card. Can I give you my card details now?
Sure. Please go ahead with the card number when you're ready.
That is the end of Part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 1. Part 2. You will hear a university representative providing an overview of the events and activities scheduled for the open day. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now listen and answer questions 11 to 14.
Welcome to our University Open Day. We're delighted to have you with us. Today is full of exciting events, so let me give you a brief overview of the schedule. We'll start at 9 a.m. with a welcome speech in the main hall. After that, you're free to explore the different departments. One of the highlights is the engineering department. Make sure to attend the robotics demonstration. It's one of the most exciting features of the day. However, be sure to arrive early, as the demo tends to fill up quickly. A quick tip, if you're interested in speaking with professors, aim to visit between 10 o'clock and 11 a.m., as they'll be available for questions only during that time. Don't forget, photography is not allowed in certain labs, so make sure to check the signs before taking any pictures. Oh, and while the department tour might seem like a must-see, it's not necessary for everyone, especially if you're short on time. Later, the law department will be offering a mock trial experience at 11 a.m. This can be quite entertaining, but be aware that space is limited, so early registration is advised. If you're more into creativity, the art and design faculty is showing student portfolios, and there will also be a short film screening around noon. However, don't mix it up with the Film Studies department, which is running a session at 1 p.m. focusing on directing and screenwriting. For those interested in technology, the Computer Science department is hosting a virtual reality demo throughout the day, which always attracts a large crowd. Science fans will want to take note that the labs, including biology and chemistry, are open for tours from 1:30 p.m. Additionally, the medical school has arranged guided tours at 2 p.m., though these require prior registration due to limited availability. The day wraps up with a final information session in the main hall at 3:30 p.m., followed by refreshments. A quick note: the library tour is canceled today due to ongoing renovations. However, you can still visit the Student Union building to learn more about clubs, societies, and other campus activities. We hope you enjoy the open day, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to stop by one of the information desks located throughout the campus.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
As you begin exploring the campus, let me help you with directions so you can easily find each department. Here from the main entrance, you will see a large building directly in front of you that is the main hall. This is where the welcome speech will take place. Now forward to the departments. The engineering department is positioned directly behind the main hall, along the same horizontal line. To get there, take the path leading left from the main hall, and this department will be the first building you encounter. Once inside, students will have the opportunity to witness a robotics demonstration, which is one of the most anticipated events of the day. The Art and Design School is located to the far right of the engineering department. Here students will have a chance to attend a short film screening, giving them a glimpse into the work of budding filmmakers. Additionally, students can meet with faculty members to discuss the diverse courses offered and learn more about career paths in the creative industries. The Computer Science department is located to the far left on the top. It is slightly detached from the central path. Here, students can engage with cutting-edge technology, including a highly popular virtual reality demonstration that runs throughout the day. There will also be coding workshops where visitors can get hands-on experience with software development tools. Now for the students who are interested in media studies. They must attend the directing and screenwriting session at Film Studies Department. To reach it, you will follow the path from the main hall and turn right until you reach the curve. The law department is located on the left side of the ground. To reach it, you would follow the path from the main hall and go left past the ground. You'll find it slightly to the left side. Here, visitors can participate in an exciting mock trial session. During this interactive experience, students will have the opportunity to act as jurors or legal counsel, gaining insight into how a real courtroom operates. Lastly, on the lower left corner of the map is the medical school, where guided tours are available. During the tour, students can explore state-of-the-art laboratories and learn about the medical training facilities offered at the university. There will also be a chance to observe a demonstration on modern healthcare technology, providing insight into the hands-on experience students can expect in their studies.
That is the end of Part 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 2. Part 3. You will hear a group of students discussing their progress on a renewable energy project and planning their next steps. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen and answer questions 21 to 24.
All right, so where are we with the project? I know we divided the work, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. I finished the research on renewable energy sources. Took a bit longer than expected, but I got some solid data on solar and wind energy. I was planning to include tidal energy too, but I didn't think we had enough time. Do you think we should add it or stick with what we have?
I've been working on the presentation slides, but I'm not completely done yet. I think students have covered most of the solar energy part and wind energy. It might be interesting, but like you said, we're tight on time. Plus, the deadline's next week, and we still need to rehearse. Do we really want to add more content?
I agree with John. Tidal energy sounds cool, but we should probably keep it simple. Better to focus on what we've already done and make that stronger. I've been working on the experiment write-up, and I've hit a bit of a roadblock. We're supposed to show a practical application of renewable energy, but the experiment with the solar panels isn't giving us consistent results. Some days, the energy output is great, other days, it's really low. I'm not sure how to explain that in the report. Also, I've noticed that the data collection software is glitchy. It keeps skipping readings, so I'm missing some key figures. I'm not sure how reliable our results are going to be at this point.
Maybe it's the weather? Solar panels can be affected by cloud cover or rain. Could that be messing with your results?
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 25 to 30.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. I'll include it in the write-up, but I'm not sure it's enough. We need a solid conclusion for the experiment, and right now, it just feels a bit incomplete. Do you guys think we should try a different experiment? Maybe something with wind energy instead?
Wind could work, but setting up a wind turbine would take time. Plus, we don't have access to the equipment we'd need for that. I think we should stick to solar, even if the results are inconsistent. Maybe we could explain the challenges of solar energy in the report? It's not perfect, but it's still valid data.
I like that idea. We can frame it as a learning point that renewable energy isn't always reliable, and it depends on external factors like the weather. That would show we understand the limitations. Also, for the presentation, we could include a slide on these challenges. What do you think?
That makes sense. It could tie everything together. I'll adjust the experiment section to focus on the variability of solar energy. Should I also mention the equipment we used? I wasn't sure if that was necessary for the report.
Yeah, definitely include that. The more detail, the better. It'll show that we followed a proper scientific process. Speaking of which, do we have the photos from the experiment? I was thinking of adding them to the slides.
I've got some photos, but not all of them came out clear. The lighting wasn't great in some shots, so I'll need to edit them a bit. I'll send you what I have by tonight. That should be enough for the slides, right?
Yeah, that should work. Just send them over when you can, and I'll add them in. Also, about the rehearsal, when are we meeting for that? I'm free on Friday afternoon, but I know we've all got different schedules.
Friday's good for me too. How about we meet around 3 p.m.? That'll give us enough time to run through the whole presentation, and we can still make changes if we need to.
I can do Friday at 3. We'll need to rehearse a few times to make sure we're ready. It's important that we all know who's saying what. We don't want to overlap or leave anything out.
Agreed. I'll print out a script for each of us so we can follow along during the rehearsal. We'll remember all the important details that way. And Sarah, for your part on solar energy, could you also mention the environmental impact? I think that would round out the presentation nicely.
Oh, good point. I'll add that to my notes. Solar energy has a pretty low environmental impact compared to fossil fuels, so that'll be a strong point to include. I'll keep it short, though, since we don't want to overload the presentation with too much information.
Exactly. We should keep it concise. I'll finish up the experiment section by tomorrow and send it to both of you. Are we all good with our tasks then? John's on the slides, I've got the experiment write-up, and Sarah, you're handling the research and photos.
Yep, that sounds about right. Just one last thing, do we need to include a bibliography in the presentation? I've cited everything on the slides, but I wasn't sure if we needed a separate page for that.
I think we should include it, just to be safe. It shows we've done our research and gives credit to our sources. I can help you put that together if you want.
That'd be great. I've already got most of the sources, so I'll send them over to you. Let's try to get everything wrapped up by Thursday so we're not scrambling at the last minute.
Agreed. Let's stick to the plan, and we'll be ready in time. If anything comes up, just message in the group chat, and we'll sort it out.
Sounds good to me. Let's nail this project, guys.
We've got this. See you both on Friday for the rehearsal.
Can't wait. Let's make sure it all comes together.
That is the end of part 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 3. Part 4. You will hear a lecture by an urban development specialist discussing sustainable practices that cities are adopting to address environmental challenges. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I'll be talking about sustainable urban development. I'll also cover some strategies that cities are using to reduce their environmental impact. Urban areas are home to more than half of the world's population, and this number is growing rapidly. As cities expand, they face many challenges like pollution, waste management, and higher energy consumption. This makes it essential for cities to adopt sustainable practices. One effective strategy is promoting green spaces. Parks, gardens, and even green rooftops are being incorporated into urban designs. This helps combat the heat island effect, which happens when cities are warmer than surrounding rural areas. Green spaces lower temperatures and improve air quality by absorbing pollutants and producing oxygen. For example, Singapore has implemented a garden city concept. Green spaces and vertical gardens are found all over the city. This initiative keeps the air clean and provides residents with recreational areas, enhancing both physical and mental well-being. Encouraging public transportation is another key strategy. Reducing the use of private vehicles helps decrease traffic congestion and emissions. Cities like Copenhagen and Amsterdam have invested heavily in cycling infrastructure. They've built dedicated bike lanes, parking areas, and bike-sharing programs. As a result, fewer people use cars, which leads to lower pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Many cities are also enhancing their public transportation systems. Curitiba, in Brazil, has a well-planned bus rapid transit system. This system is efficient and affordable, with dedicated lanes and express services. It has reduced commute times and minimized traffic congestion, which helps lower the city's carbon footprint. Improving waste management is another approach to sustainability. Landfills and waste incineration can cause severe environmental problems. Cities like San Francisco have introduced zero-waste policies. They focus on waste reduction and recycling. By diverting waste away from landfills, they significantly reduce the amount of garbage produced and lessen their environmental impact. Many cities are also shifting to renewable energy sources. Coal, oil, and natural gas are being replaced with cleaner alternatives like solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. Freiburg in Germany is often called the Green City because of its commitment to renewable energy. The city has built several solar farms and encourages the use of rooftop solar panels on buildings. This has reduced their reliance on non-renewable energy sources. Water management is another area where cities are adopting sustainable practices. Water scarcity and poor water quality are big challenges for many cities. Melbourne, Australia, has adopted water-sensitive urban designs. They capture and treat rainwater, reuse grey water, and incorporate permeable surfaces. These techniques ensure a reliable water supply and reduce water runoff, minimizing the risk of flooding. Sustainable urban development also involves energy-efficient buildings. Traditional buildings consume a lot of energy for heating, cooling, and lighting. To address this, many cities have adopted green building standards. The city of Vancouver in Canada has a green building policy. It requires new buildings to meet strict energy performance criteria. This includes better insulation, energy-efficient windows, and advanced heating and cooling systems. Such measures help buildings use less energy and produce fewer emissions. Community engagement is also a key aspect of sustainable development. Cities are raising awareness about sustainable practices and involving residents. Urban farming and community gardens are popular initiatives. They help citizens connect with nature and understand the importance of sustainable living. These programs provide fresh, locally grown produce and educate people about reducing food waste and conserving resources. Sustainable urban development is about balancing growth with environmental responsibility. Cities around the world are using different strategies to minimize their ecological footprint and improve the quality of life for their inhabitants. From promoting green spaces and enhancing public transportation to better waste management and the use of renewable energy, these practices are leading the way to a more sustainable future.
That is the end of Part 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 4.